afternoon. I'm Helen Su. I'm the HR manager of ICS.
And I'm Jessica. It's nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me. I have brought my portfolio here for you to have a look at.
Perfect.
An opportunity to do so, as well as a copy of my resume.
Thank you. You have a lovely management experience. Okay. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I've been in the hospitality industry for 7 years now.
Okay.
And I love the industry, the events industry that I'm in. I just want to work towards better achieving my skills as an event planner.
Good. What's your strength?
I would have to say one of my strengths is definitely being organized. I make sure that I'm kind of I guess a perfectionist in that sense, where everything has to have a place.
That's very important. Do you have any weaknesses?
Again, it's the being a perfectionist. Definitely I think I spend too much time on being organized, like being too detail oriented, that I take more time away from doing other important things.
I understand. I have the same problem. Describe a difficult situation you have encountered and how you handle it.
When I was working at Copper Creek Golf Club, I was actually a co-check there, where we were hosting a wedding for, it was supposed to be 400 people, and actually 600 showed up.
Okay.
So it's 200 extra, which I was not prepared for in my co-check area. So I had to run around and find extra coat hangers, and I actually set up another separate co-check area in the lower level of the building.
Okay. How do you prioritize your work for the day?
I like to work with to-do lists. I always make sure that I have, like the night before, I usually start a to-do list, whether it be on my computer, my phone. I make sure that I just try to do most everything on my to-do list.
Good. Tell me about the time you worked on a project that had a deadline. What did you do and what were the outcomes?
Well, being in school, we have multiple projects that have deadlines. One of them actually that we've recently been working on was our event for our final project, and I'm part of the marketing team. So my job was to create a web page, and I had a deadline. I had to make sure that was done in a certain time in order to bring awareness about the event. So that was something that I definitely worked towards.
Describe a situation when you were a member of a team and a conflict occurred. How did you handle this?
I find that in teams, especially teams more than 2 people, it's a matter of communication. There being sometimes you can't get a hold of somebody else or whatever that may be, and that can be a conflict because you need to get something completed and you can't get a hold of that certain person that needs to complete it. It becomes a problem. So I think communication is definitely needed in team situations.
Describe a situation where you were a member of a team and how did you ensure all the duties were accomplished?
Well, in the beginning of each group that we've been placed in within school, we always make sure that we set out tasks of who's doing what to complete those certain situations. So again, like job descriptions, making sure that everybody understands their position and they're completing their tasks on time.
Good. Tell me about a personal goal you set for yourself and how you achieved it.
Well, I'm originally from Ontario, so a personal goal for me was just moving out to Vancouver and starting school. I managed to, as soon as I moved out here, within a month, I started up at the Art Institute of Vancouver, and I've been enjoying the last year being out in Vancouver.
Good. Tell me about a time when you felt overwhelmed by your workload and how you handled it.
Well, being juggling school, and I had 4 jobs at one time when I was in my last quarter of school, and it was a matter of just assuring that I could juggle everything, and I actually felt like I was having a little bit of a hard time doing that. I think I took on too much on my plate, but I managed to still get through it and just put things first, making sure that my health is okay. And, yeah.
Can you give me an example of a time when you made a mistake at work or school? And what was the mistake and how did you handle it?
When I was working one of my office jobs, I was actually supposed to be sending out a document. It was a very important document that had to get from my location out to Calgary, and I actually shipped it on the wrong address, and that had to get there immediately. So the way it was, I handled that was I actually called UPS directly, and I tracked the system, or I tracked the tracking number, and then I was able to get it sent back to us and shipped to the proper address. But it was one of those like caught at the last minute sort of thing, and if I hadn't caught it, it would have been a problem. But I managed to handle it and get it sent where it needed to go.
Great. Tell me about a time when you had to stand up for a decision you made, even though it made you unpopular.
Decision that made me unpopular. It would be a matter of organizing time. I'm very. I guess I have to always be on time for things, and it's kind of an anal thing that I have. I'm very very strict about that, and it's made it so I'm not so popular with some of my friends because they're not all like
when
me.
they cannot meet the deadline.
Yeah, when they can't meet a deadline, I kind of get a little antsy about it, but I managed to turn it around into a positive by the end of it. So.
Great. Careful listening and effective communication go hand in hand. Tell me about a time when your ability to listen helped you communicate better.
I believe listening is definitely a key to proper communication between team members or any situation that you're in. You can't complete a job without having proper listening skills, because in that way it leaves the open line of communication, so you just understand the situation of what's going on.
Have you ever had to document or write down a process for your boss or teacher? If so, give me an example of your experience.
Well, in school, we're asked to create critical paths and and production schedules for our projects that we've done, and it's more preparing us for the real world. And I managed to prioritize what goes first and how that's handled.
Okay. What are your top 3 values?
I would have to say definitely trust. Being able to have trust in any relationship is key to building a strong relationship. And integrity, and definitely loyalty. Being loyal to company or school, whichever.
So why should I hire you for this position?
I believe as a junior event coordinator in the industry, I have a lot to offer. The experience that I come from being in hospitality, I can bring a lot of that towards this position in particular, and I think that I will just be very motivated and be able to get the job done, going beyond expectations.
Great. How does this position fit with your career plan?
Well, as my career plans would definitely be to be able to move up within the company that I land myself in. This position itself is a good starting position as a junior coordinator, and it'll be able to just build my experience.
What type of salary are you expecting?
What is the range for this position?
For the entry-level position, it's about $35,000 per year.
Okay, so it's 35,000 is the flat rate?
Yes.
Then that's definitely
There will be a
something-
lot of overtime.
Lots of overtime. That's okay, and that's something that I was expecting coming into this position.
Great. How long do you expect to stay with ICS?
As long as you will have me. Like I said, I would love to be able to move up within the company. So,
Great. What do you know about this industry?
I know that it is a very fast-paced industry. It's definitely an up-and-coming industry that, meetings and events are always happening, and it's just something I really would love to be part of, and the networking that gets involved with it as well. I think it's just a great industry to be in.
Great. Do you have any questions for me?
What communication style do you prefer to have between you and your employees?
We communicate with each other daily via emails because we are international companies. There are a lot of employees that are working outside Canada, so we definitely communicate with each other via emails very often. And also, we will have a phone conference every week to make sure that everyone are on the same page. And that's it.
Great. What happened to the last person that was in this position?
That person, because we have we opened a new office in Europe, and that person, we sent that person to Europe to help us to open a new office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
meeting
much.
with me.
Cheers.
Really,
Thank
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a good day.
You too.